What's going on, everybody? It's James back in the Edge Finder. It's been a while since we've done one of these Edge Finder videos, but I think we're going to get back into the swing of things doing these Edge Finder videos for you guys regularly every week. So we're going to do our top buy and top sell of the week, and we're going to start off like we always do by taking a look at the market heat map first. So if you're unfamiliar with the Edge Finder or you're unfamiliar with the market heat map, what we're looking at here is a bunch of red and blue boxes, and the blue boxes are buys and the red boxes are sells. The darker the blue, the stronger the buy, and the darker the red, the stronger the sell. What we're actually looking at here in the market heat map is the biggest movers of the day. So these are all of the currency pairs, indices, and commodities that we have listed in the Edge Finder. And from yesterday to today, so far, these pairs up top and these pairs down here are the ones that have moved the most in one direction or the other. So for example, our top 6 movers to the buy side from this morning or from yesterday to today are the JP225, US 10Y, USD JPY, USD CAD, Euro GBP, and Euro NZD. On the sell side, we have NZD USD, Aussie USD, GBP USD, gold, the SPX 500, and oil. So now we're going to take a look at the score chart summary.
Hey traders, would you like some help with technical analysis? Well, lucky for you, we're giving away a free technical analysis guide. That's right, completely free. It's an entire guide all around technical analysis. The guide includes subjects like support and resistance trading, MACD indicators, trend lines, candlestick pattern trading, RSI indicators, and much more. So make sure to click the link in the description, fill out that information, and we'll email you a technical analysis guide right away.
And the score chart summary looks a little similar. We still have all of these same currencies listed, as well as our red and blue boxes. Again, the darker the blue, the stronger the buy, and the darker the red, the stronger the sell. But what the Edge Finder actually is a market scanning software that takes in all of these different metrics. We have all of these metrics up here that get scores, and based on that, all of this data that the Edge Finder is pulling in, it makes educated predictions on which way these currency pairs, indices, and commodities, everything that we have listed in the Edge Finder, makes educated predictions on which way it's going to move in the market. So for example, we can take a look at, we're gonna focus on currency pairs right now. So we'll just take a look at USD CAD has a buy score of 5. So based on all of these different metrics, all this data that the Edge Finder is pulling in, and it's constantly getting updated, it predicts that USD CAD, at least for the time being, this could be for the next couple days, this could be for the next couple weeks, USD CAD is going to be a buy for the time being. Similarly, if we look down here, we have a couple different strong sells. I know I said that we were going to focus on currency pairs, but gold is pretty popular as well, and that is our strongest sell down here with a score of -7. So we're probably going to take a look at gold. So again, based on all of this data, all of these metrics that we are tracking, the Edge Finder predicts that as of right now, gold is going to be a sell and will most likely continue to be a sell for the next couple of days until something changes. So let's go ahead and start off with our top buy of the week. We have USD CAD and USD TRY here. Let's go ahead and select USD CAD with a score of 5. So if we click on that, it brings us into the USD CAD breakdown page. Here, like we said, we have a score of 5, and we have all of our metrics scored right here. So starting off from top to bottom, we have COT data with a score of +2. We can look at those numbers right here. US dollar, we're looking at COT data, which is institutional trader data. This is what the big money players are buying and selling. So we see US dollar sits at 77.71% long and 22.29% short with the institutional traders, and the Canadian dollar 38.6% long and 61.4% short. Right next to it, we have our retail sentiment with a 13% long and 87% short, and that gives us a score of +1. Retail traders, our retail sentiment is retail traders, which is pretty much the day traders. Seasonality has a score of +1 as well. Here in the months of October, I'll let you look at these numbers here. We have our current year average, our last 5-year average, as well as our all-time average. And so historically speaking, we can see in the month of October, our last 5-year average, we have somewhat of an upward trend. Or not somewhat, we do have an upward trend, and in the all-time average, we have somewhat of an upward trend. So historically speaking, October to November, this pair typically tends to continue to the upside. And then we see in the last 5 years, in the later months of the year, moving from November to December, we see a downward trend, and that is consistent with the all-time average as well. So that's something to keep an eye out for. Our trend rating is +2, and that just means that this market is moving up respectively. And then we have our last 4 metrics right here: GDP growth, inflation, unemployment, and interest rates, with scores of -1, -1, +1, and a 0 neutral score. We have a 0 neutral score here. We can take a look at interest rates, 0 neutral score, because both the US dollar and the Canadian dollar have a 3.25% interest rate. So there's no difference there. GDP growth, we have -0.6% for the US dollar and 0.8% for the Canadian dollar. Inflation sits at 8.2% for the US dollar and 7% for the Canadian dollar. And lastly, unemployment, 3.5% for the US and 5.2% for Canada. Also in the Edge Finder, we have the scanner output summary, which is a written summary of everything that you see up here. If you're confused by any of these numbers, data, why things get a certain score, you can come down here and take a look at this written scanner output summary, and it will explain exactly why we score things the way we do and why these numbers are the way they are. We also have upcoming news, which is a super useful thing to have, because as we know, the news impacts the markets. Depending on, good news, bad news, it causes the market to shift one way or the other. So it's very important to stay up to date on news, because it has such a big impact on the markets in which way these currency pairs swing. Lastly, we have our daily chart, daily price chart. We can take a look at the numbers for today. Today is October 14th, but October 15th, we have these green, orange, and red lines here. And this is actually a price forecast. So based on all of the data that the Edge Finder is pulling in for each of these pairs, it actually makes a predicted price forecast for these pairs. So if price continues to do well and actually shoots up even more, this green line up here could be some numbers that we could potentially see. This is not saying that if price does well, these are for sure what the numbers are going to look like, but these are some predicted numbers for what price could be around. If it stays neutral and kind of stays on the path that it's been on, we're looking at this orange line here. And if it dips lower, then we're looking at this red line here. Okay, so that was our top buy of the day, USD CAD. And our top sell was gold. So I'm going to come over here to the commodities tab where we have gold and oil listed, and I'm going to take a look at gold. Strong sell bias for gold with a score of -7. We have our COT data here, actually a neutral score of 0, and we have our numbers over here. US dollar again, 77.71% long and 22.29% short. But gold, on the other hand, is 62.8% long with institutional traders and 37.14% short. 70% long overall with the retail traders. That gives us a retail sentiment score of -1. Seasonality -1 as well. Looking at the numbers for October. Historically speaking, we're seeing upward trends in the later months of the year, November and December. Trend reading, -2. Market is moving down respectively. And our last metrics here to take a look at GDP growth, inflation, unemployment, and interest rates. We have a score of 0, and then negative ones across the board. So we can take a look right here at our fundamentals. We only have US dollar listed because, of course, gold doesn't have unemployment or inflation or interest rates listed. So when we're talking these scores here, we're really just talking about the US dollar. So again, our scanner output summary here, in case you want to pause the video and take a look at that. And if you want anything kind of explain why we score things the way we do. Our upcoming news events, of course, and then our daily chart. So here on the daily chart, here are the numbers for today, October 14th. And same thing goes, we have our green, orange, and red lines. If price shoots up, we could potentially see numbers, price numbers around these numbers here. If we kind of stay the same, stay neutral, we're looking at this. And if price shoots even lower, we're looking at this. All right, so that was a look at our top buy and top sell this week in the Edge Finder. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you want the Edge Finder for yourself, you can find it in the link in the description. There is links to chat with somebody from our team about the Edge Finder. You can also request trial access to the Edge Finder if you want to try it out for 24 hours for free to see if it is something that you'd be interested in purchasing. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you in the next one.